Good morning. These are your BYU-Idaho radio morning headlines for Tuesday, April 28th, 2026. Thanks for listening. I'm Noah Allen. Gas prices in Idaho went up 2 cents since last week, but that isn't the only thing that has increased. According to a news release from AAA Idaho, crude oil prices shot up by $10 in just the last week. While its effect hasn't fully reached gas prices yet, it's anticipated to come soon. The national average for the cost of a gallon of gas is at $4.11, which is 7 cents higher than last week. Idaho still sits at 8th for most expensive gas in the United States. Here are average gas prices in nearby cities. $4.26 in Rexburg, $4.29 in Idaho Falls, and $4.35 in Pocatello. A former BYU-Idaho professor recently released her new book, Lunch with the Widows: What I Learned About Living After My Husband Died. Susan Balcom Walton says the book is inspired by her own journey after the passing of her husband, Mark. After losing her husband during the first year of the COVID-19 pandemic, Walton felt the need to connect with people. She lived hundreds of miles from family and was teaching at BYU-Idaho. On the first Thanksgiving she experienced alone, she reached out to an old widowed friend. She pulled out her best china for their Zoom dinner, where they laughed and talked as they ate.
And it was so soul-satisfying that that night, after it was over, I took out my little notebook and I thought, I have to do this more. And I began making a list of people I'd like to talk to.
Her book follows what she learned from those experiences. It includes her conversation with 8 of those women in detail. She learned that everyone experiences grief in different ways.
And you don't move on, you move forward.
Moving forward for Walton meant looking for things that brought her joy earlier in her life. For example, she picked up racquetball again. In her early days of being a widow, she spoke to widows in the 5 to 7 year range. It helped her to see what life a few years down the road could be. Some advice she heard repeated in many of her conversations with widows is the need for connection, no matter how imperfect it might be.
But every one of these women said to me that they would rather have someone try. Reach out and try. Make that connection.
One surprise chapter in her life was finding love again. She married a widower named George. She felt it was hard to imagine building a new relationship after losing Mark after 43 years. Her conversations with widows who had similar experiences helped her with this new experience in her life.
It is quite simply its own unique entity. And what I think George and I have both found is that it is possible to move forward that way with joy and intent while not at all forgetting or holding in any less reverence the memories and the lifetime that you have with that person that you were married to for so long.
To read Lunch with Widows: What I Learned About Living After My Husband Died, you can order it online at cedarfort.com or on Amazon. The QR code on the book leads to Walton's website, susanbwalton.com, where you can connect with her. In Rexburg, Idaho, Intermountain Health and Madison Health will hold an open house at noon on May 5th to celebrate the arrival of Intermountain Flight and Ambulance Services to Rexburg. As part of the community event, an Intermountain Health Air Medical Helicopter will be on display at Madison Memorial Hospital, the new base for the aircraft and team, and will offer community members a unique opportunity to see the aircraft up close and learn more about critical care air transport services now available close to home for residents. The new Intermountain Health Air Medical Base at Madison Memorial Hospital will enhance emergency response capabilities across Rexburg, Madison County, and surrounding rural communities, and will provide 24/7 access to advanced critical care transport, supporting both adult and pediatric patients, and working in close collaboration with local emergency medical services and healthcare providers. In a press release from Intermountain Health, Wade Patton, the Medical Transport Clinical Director for Intermountain Health Flight and Ambulance Services, said, "We are grateful for our partnership with Madison Health and the trust they've placed in us to serve this community. We're honored to help expand critical care in Rexburg and the surrounding communities, bringing faster, life-saving care to patients." Rachel Gonzalez, Chief Executive Officer of Madison Health, said, "This is a meaningful advancement for healthcare access in our region. We value trusted air medical partners across our region, and this addition will strengthen that system by bringing critical care air transport to our community. We are strengthening our ability to respond quickly, improve outcomes, and ensure patients receive the level of care they need when and where they need it most. These have been your BYU-Idaho Radio morning headlines for April 28th, 2026. Thanks for tuning in. More news, interviews, and great content are available on our podcast feed. Just search for BYU-Idaho Radio on your favorite podcast apps. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and more. For BYU-Idaho Radio, I'm Noah Allen.